Good morning, students. Today I will start this session by asking you a very simple question, and I know all of you know the answer of this question. The question is, what is biology? Biology is a branch of science that deals with life. I repeat, it is a branch of science that deals with life. So here we came across with the term called as life. So in this chapter we'll study about life and the living organisms. So in this session we'll start the first chapter, and the name of the chapter is the living organism. So life is a unique, complex organization of ions and molecules which perform certain chemical reactions in order to bring about life activities. Now let me explain each and every term in this definition. Now life is a unique, yes, it is a unique process. So there is, we cannot compare life with anything else. So it is unique. It is a complex process, complex organization of ions. Yes, it is made up of complex ions and molecules, and all these ions work together to form certain chemical reactions, to perform certain chemical reactions. And why these chemical reactions goes on? To bring about life activities, which you have already studied in grade 10. Life activities or life processes such as nutrition, respiration, transportation, excretion, all these things you've studied in grade 10. All these life activities, why these life activities happen? This happens because of life. And what is life? Life is a unique, complex organization of ions. These ions and molecules are organized in a proper way. And why they are organized? They are organized so that they can perform certain chemical reactions in order to bring about life activities. So I am repeating once again, what is life? Life is a unique, complex organization of ions and molecules which perform certain chemical reactions in order to bring about life activities. Now we studied about life. So when we have discussed about life, so we should know about living organisms also. Life will lead to living organisms. Life, because of life there are living organisms. So we should know what are living organisms. So a living organism is a self-replicating, evolving and self-interactive system capable of responding to external stimuli. So let me explain each term. Self-replicating means it replicates. The DNA of the living organism replicates, and a new copy is made, and because of that a new progeny is created. Now evolving, all new species evolve from the pre-existing species. So living organism is evolving, isn't it? And then self-interactive system, it interacts. The various body parts, the various organ system, they interact with each other, isn't it? And capable of responding to external stimuli. Yes, all living organisms, they respond to external stimuli. Any changes which takes place around us, we react to that changes. So my dear students, what are living organism? A living organism is a self-replicating, evolving, self-interactive system capable of responding to external stimuli. Now, I am reading one statement over here, and then I will explain this statement. All living and non-living matter have one common, that they are made up of some basic elements. About 99% of the living matter is composed of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, probably because these elements were abundant when life first began. So, my dear student, what does this statement mean? This statement means that living things and non-living things both are composed of same basic element, that is carbon, hydrogen, oxygen and nitrogen. But still they are different from each other. That we will discuss how they are different from each other later on in this chapter. Now, the living things and the non-living things are subjected to same physical laws such as gravitation, magnetism, radiation, action and reaction, etc. Isn't it? All we as a living organism, we are subjected to gravitation, magnetism, etc., etc. Similarly, non-living things are also subjected to gravitation and magnetism. Now, both are subjected to same physical laws, but still the living organisms are different from non-living matter on the basis of certain fundamental characteristics. So we will study those fundamental characteristics in this session, one by one. Now, before moving on to the characteristics of living thing, I would like to discuss one most important thing, the presence of protoplasm. Living organisms has protoplasm. The cell, the living part of the cell is known as protoplasm. The nucleus plus cytoplasm is called the protoplasm. And what is protoplasm? It is the living matter. And due to the presence of protoplasm, all the vital activities of a living organisms can take place. Where does this vital activities takes place? It takes place in the protoplasm. So, presence of protoplasm is the most important characteristic feature of living organisms which act as a site of vital activities. Now, we will discuss the characteristics of living organism one by one. The first characteristic we will discuss is definite shape and size. All living organisms have definite shape and size. Example, rat is a small animal and looks like a rat. Similarly, whale is a big animal and looks like a whale. Due to this property, living organisms are called morphous. Morphous means having definite shape and size. So, since all living organisms have definite shape and size, so that is why living organisms are called as morphous. We know a definite shape and structure of a human being. So, human being will look like that. Similarly, we know a definite shape and structure of a rat, a whale. So, we all living organisms have a definite shape and size, and that is why they are called as morphous. Whereas all non-living things do not have shape and size. They do not have definite shape and size. So that is why they are called as amorphous. Amorphous means having not definite shape and size. Now we'll move to the second characteristic. The second characteristic is organization. Now I'll explain this topic, but let me first discuss something. Now we know that all living organisms are made up of cell. Cell is the structural and functional unit of life, because cell gives the structure to the living organism, and cell perform all the basic functions that a living organisms can perform. Now this cell organized to form tissues organized to form organs, and organs organized to form organ system. And there are various organ system in a living organisms. Let us take our example. In our case, there is digestive system, there is circulatory system, there is respiratory system, there is excretory system, there is nervous system, and there are many more systems. Now there are so many systems. Now all systems, they work together, they work in a coordinated manner, they work in organization, they organize and they work together, and this is called as organization. It is not that circulatory system is doing something else and it is least bothered about excretory system. No, all the system will work together in a coordinated manner, and this is called as organization. So living beings shows organization, and that is why living matter is known as organism, because they show organization. So in this session, we discuss about what is life, what are living organisms. Then we discuss, although living organisms and non-living things, they are made up of common basic matter, but still they are different from each other on the basis of certain characteristics. Then we discuss that presence of protoplasm is the most important characteristic of living organisms, because in this protoplasm all the basic vital activities are carried out. Then we discuss two important characteristics of living thing, that is living things have definite shape and size, and that is why they are called as amorphous. And then we discuss that living beings show organization. So I would like to end this session over here. My dear students, have a wonderful day ahead. Thank you.